we're back. I think this is it. I'm going to intro Hutto. 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 All hail the Hutto. This is it. Episode 2. We have the man himself already on the vodcast. It's going to be a big one. We had a massive chat the other night. We were just shooting the proverbial, and that took 90 minutes. So I don't know how long this is going to take. But I have been looking forward to this one. I'm a massive Hutto fan. So you got all your props and all your notes there, mate?
Yeah, we'll see what we can remember and try and downplay this build-up you've given me, because it's highly overrated, and it's called the Hanging Around the Longest Award, mate.
Oh, you hate it, don't you? I actually saw the post from the wheelbarrow races and everything that's popped up in the last couple of days from Gaz. Gaz is hot on the trigger finger at the moment. He must be bored in ISO because he's been dishing out some gold lately. And who was it? Someone, Dan Cassidy, old Dano, who I work with at the pool, he's dishing out the props, and he's like, "Oh, well, you're not going to say it yourself, so we'll say it for you. So this is what we're here for."
Yeah, well, I must admit, it's nice to be talking about something else instead of the virus.
Yeah, okay. Yeah, it's not a great word, but you've got a G&T, I've got a red. That'll do.
What about today with the actress getting murdered?
Yeah. I'm glad you pulled that one up. I was going to remind you about that one. Reese, was it? Who was it? Who's got murdered?
Reese, something or other. Actress got killed. Reese
Witherspoon?
Killed with a knife, you idiot.
Second time I've fallen for that one, though. I was
actually didn't.
No, I was just gonna let you. I was just playing along. But
Boy.
But is that your go-to joke now? Is it? You play on everyone.
If I can get him a second time, it'd be a pretty good hit. But I didn't get you.
Yeah, no. Like I remember when you did get me the first time in front of everyone at the ABB.
That was a good day.
It was a good day, and can't believe you're still mixing it up with the boys the way you do on these trips. Like you got loose cats like Plum Dog Gus Harfield on these trips, and you're still outlasting guys like that. So kudos for that.
Yeah, though, so we won't take too much credit on that one. But he wasn't too good after the Irish whiskey.
No, the Irish whiskey. So yeah, you're a whiskey man. I thought you'd be having one of those tonight, but
I know I'm all fixed up as far as what I can drink. I can drink whatever I like now. Had the operation.
Yeah. So let's get into that health-wise. So last time you had a big one at my place, it really blew up and busted and couldn't even wee. So you had to have an emergency trip to the hospital to get yourself vacuumed out. What happened there?
Yeah, just got a bit carried away at your place and thought I could drink whiskey instead of beer and not have this problem that's happened before, and the old enlarged old man's prostate clamped shut on me. But I didn't want to stop partying because we went across to your place after that, and they had to pick me up. She said, "You're not going home," and they said, "You're right, let's go."
Emergency just from a bit of a drink around our place. And then what's the latest in the health situation? You got plastic surgeons having a crack at that perfect face of yours moment.
I should give him to take some off the big nose, shouldn't I, while he's at it?
Yeah, rather than take it out of your butt, take it out of that nose. Not as big as mine. It's not as big as mine, so.
That's there. No, just a lesson. Stay at the sun, kiddies. That's for sure.
Yeah, absolutely. The sun is not your friend. Mark Hutson, most people will know you. You're still, I guess, pretty underground guy as well. But most people in the area would know but in terms of the club, everyone absolutely knows you because you're the first legend that we inducted from that 40-year prezzo that we had. So one of only two now that we've got Gaz. And how good was that tribute that we did for Gaz when he was inducted, that Trent and Nick put together? Like a couple of legends themselves, but how good was that tribute that they did?
And Gaz is way more befitting than me, that's for sure. So super pumped to be on the board though with Gaz, and he's just always there for the club. Been there a lot of years now.
Yeah, and now you got a partner in crime. He's not, you're not there hanging on your own now, so it must feel a bit more cozy.
Me.
Yeah, but it must be a bit cozy having Gaz as another legend instead of just being strung out on your own.
Yeah. No, there'll be a few more to be added to that. I can pump out a few names of the club that need to be there as well.
Well, yeah, we should be getting around to that because probably due for some more inductees. We've only 2 legends in 40 years. We could probably come up with a few more and get through that if we ever got a chance to have a prezzo with all what's going on.
Yeah. Well, there's a few more to add on there quickly, so it might become a yearly thing. It's up to the president what he wants to do there, I guess. You got Leroy maybe up there.
Oh,
next.
I was going to get to that, but let's get to that now. Leroy, that's something that I've been meaning to put some emphasis on. The passing of Lee Middleton, rest in peace, you legend. Haven't had, I guess, I've had a couple of opportunities to mention it the last couple of podcasts we've done, but just feel so sorry for the family. Not being able to, I mean, they've obviously had the funeral, and it was just, from a club's perspective, it's really difficult and disappointing not to be able to give him the sort of tribute that the guy deserves. Want to do this massive paddle out and had all these ideas of what to do, and all we could do is just kind of sit in the car park there at corner and sit and wave and do our bit. It just sort of felt so underwhelming and under what he deserved.
Yeah, well, there's more to come, as you know. So
yep.
I think there's people, virtually spread out all the way down to Antspit, Billings, all the car parks, mattering of people. So a little bit of word had got out amongst all the lockdown, and especially he's a great bloke, just a true gentleman. And,
absolute. Like in terms of the true word legend, he's actually, I mean, I guess one of the reasons he hadn't had a legendary title yet, because we always knew it was coming. It's just that when we did the 40-year, we gave life memberships out to all those presidents, and he was the first to obviously be recognised for that. So he already has that, and we were focusing on other people that hadn't had life memberships, people that hadn't stood as presidents, that sort of thing, like yourself and Gaz. But everyone's got their own take. Everyone's had their own time at the club. Everyone's got their own idea of who sort of influenced them. But yeah, for Lee, I mean, started the club 43 years ago, and for Sim and Scott and Laura, Marilyn, the family, like the friends, like you, the boys, everyone that has. I think it was So what we want to do is one big podcast just for him, and just focus on his life, and have you back on, and have some of the other crew that you think can help us add some weight and put the right perspective on True Legend's life. I want to do the big paddle out. I noticed there was a great tribute from Mike Davis in that, amongst all that.
Massive. It was the longest reading you'd ever do. It was incredible. I went looking for that today, actually, to have another read, but I couldn't find it. I thought it was on his Facebook. But they were real good buddies. They did a trip to the States, I think, to surf museums, and not long ago he was strong enough to do that. But Mike Davis was part of the old folklore back when Leroy obviously had boards off Leroy up. He ended up in the shop at the top of Mirabel Street. Mike Davis would go order our boards from Leroy. He started off where the club started, where the bottle shop is at the pub. now. That was the first surf shop, and then
Yeah.
you see where the fruit shop is in Bowenheads.
Yep.
Yeah, moved to Geelong, and
Well, we're going to dive into all that. We're going to dive into how the club started in your role and your part in all that. Leroy's one of the things I wanted to tidy up. I wanted to get you a little bit set in with this little vodcast thing first, and go through some general club vodcast housekeeping. So and then like focus on you a lot. Like, not that you like that, but we'll go through a big bio of the Hutto, and then we're going to go through all these things you've set up some notes for. Have you got your props? Because you showed me one the other night that dropped off the shelf there, and that was a ripper. You've got a few extras. Got a few more?
Yeah, you might like this one. I mean, it's me, but you'll love the wave. I just thought.
Oh, don't.
Where are we?
Oh, don't.
Shall
Oh my God, it's cooking. Give us another
Where's
look at
that?
that, then. Give me another look at that. Oh, no exposure. No exposure. That is cooking. That's the sort of view you want when you're paddling out going, oh yeah, we're on today.
There's a small one on the day. I wouldn't go on the big ones.
Really? Oh,
Massive.
You found that, plucked that one out for me, did you?
I think it's 98.
98.
At the back.
I reckon that's around the time. No, I'd been surfing it for about 5 years by that point, but I'd moved to Queensland by then, so I would have missed that swell. But
You're on steroids.
That's a ripper. All right, yeah. So briefly, I wanted to mention the first episode. So not some of my finer technological work, and I'm hoping this one comes out better. We're already got a better start. I'm just hoping my internet issues I've got with my battle I've got with Telstra at the moment is going to get us through this thing. But yeah, we had Mouse, and Cam was great enough to edit it because we had to take bits out because poor old Mouse was on the show for his, I guess, scientific perspective on what we're going through at the moment, and then we couldn't use the content being sensitive, sort of state secret sort of stuff. So if you did see it before it got taken down and re-edited, well done. The edited version's back up, so have a look at that. We've got the intro app. I'm not sure if that's still around, but that just talks about how we're trying to keep this podcast first and foremost club relevant, and have legends like you on to give context on the local personalities and backstories and current affairs. And but maybe after having a 40-year-old on with Mouse, having a 60-year-old on, we might be due for a Grom or something next. What do you reckon?
Yeah, so and you've gone from a scientist to a plumber. How's that, eh?
Scientist to a plumber. We'll get some Grom on next. Maybe maybe that'll be up to the fans if we ever get anyone to watch the show and put in their own requests. But we do have a few things on the cards. We've got a bit of talk of the tendency to froth era. We've actually got wouldn't mind having sort of that video in the background and talk to all the boys involved with that. We've got Elliot Gray who's lined up. He's stuck in America. We've got a few people stuck at the moment. Elliot got stuck in America. Hud got stuck here. He wants to get back home to Indo. We've got people sort of stuck in different places. And we want to talk to Gaz soon because he wants to work out getting some contributions for this book he's trying to put together. So that'd be pretty cool for everyone in the club to see. Let's see how it goes. So we'll let the listeners decide on who they want to see. If you want updates on any of these new episodes, you just go to subscribe to the 13th Beach Boardriders YouTube channel, which none other than the Colliers, I think, put together back in the day, this YouTube channel. But big news is, I spoke to him last night, and by popular decree, I've recruited a co-host.
Who's that?
You're going to enjoy this. Cole, Candy Crush Rush.
I got Cole's name, actually.
You got Cole's name written on your notes?
Yeah. He's have a group that's I was just quick. I've probably missed half the crew who should be on there. They're pretty important to the club, as in all the past presidents for sure, at least. But Cole's name was just right down the bottom.
What have you got?
Nice.
Right, he's made the page though. He'll be happy with that. He'll be able to talk all about himself. But what have you got if we're introducing my new co-host? What have you got about him?
Well, what have I got about him? He's just there, isn't he?
He's just there.
He's always there. I don't mean just there.
He is though.
He'd be pretty chuffed with that. Oh, sorry, chuffed.
Pretty chuffed. Chuffed to get it right, mate. You want to be. Candy Crush is probably doing some chuffing, but
he's good. And old Cole, I reckon he's a ripper.
He is an absolute ripper. Cameo appearances, I love his cameo appearances when he gets on the mic comps and. But I reckon we'll have you on as cameo appearances over time. It's probably going to depend on the demographic of hosts we've got. But I reckon you could pretty much hit any demographic anyway. But I reckon if we're going to get someone like, I wouldn't mind at the lower demographic too. We might try and recruit someone like Zeph and have like 4 co-hosts and fire off questions at these special guests and have it inclusive and bring in everyone.
Zoom.
Full Zoom. I have sort of 6 faces up on the screen and video and get Harry Dodd creative stuff and throw some music in. Who knows what we're capable of? Let's start with Hutto. Let's start with Hutto first. COVID situation. What's your take on it? Hopefully AFL going to make some sort of decision soon and we can follow that.
Yeah, well, I pray for the Saints for some unknown reason. I should follow the Doggies from where I was born and bred. But I thought we were in for a good, exciting year to watch a bit of winter football. I don't know how it's going to pan out. It's never seen anything like it, ever. And I'm 61, year event type thing, and
you could have been around for 100 years before you'd seen anything like this. Yeah,
exactly. So, I mean, it seems like we've overreacted, but geez, I'd much rather that than the other way. So, let's try and get the economy back a bit, hey?
Yeah, well, we just want to get things back on track, but then you get a cluster and it's all going back. So this is something I spoke to about Mouse, whether it's official or unofficial. But if we don't get a vaccine, then this could go on for a while. So strap in, buckle up, and enjoy the ride. The WSL, I reckon, are cooked. I reckon they're tripping, and the only reason they haven't announced anything is because they're holding on to their, fact they're a media content business, and we stop thinking about the tools, stop thinking about them. But they can't be too far off. You can't run a world tour, and not cross borders. So they're cooked. But footy, I mean, we could be on within weeks, hopefully, or a month, or whatever it is. But yeah, that's in terms. Oh, sorry. So go ahead.
Could be, within the borders. There could be an Australian championship that's going to be run, and then an American one, a Hawaiian one, and just have to stay in their borders.
Yeah, well, there's been talk of, imagine we just got everyone in Oz. We're probably the cleanest and the most isolated. We've got enough variety of waves. What if we ran a 10 event season, smashed it all out? Or, if you're going to run in the best waves, you chuck everyone on a boat, or you chuck the top 10 guys on a boat in the men's, and you have a token tour. You can't really have a world champion because it's not the real deal, is it?